What's going on, people? What is happening? What is the story? Well, that didn't help. Have I played Ori and the Blind Forest? Yes. What are my thoughts on it? It's not really my kind of game. I mean, I guess it was very popular, but I didn't see what I was supposed to enjoy about it. The graphics are good and the sound is good. But the game design, I just didn't get it. Have I played the Swapper? Yes. I like it. I'm a little biased. I helped pay for the Swapper to get developed, so I don't exactly have a neutral opinion. But I thought it was good. It's a little bit actually of a shame because I feel like the game didn't get as much attention as it probably deserved. Clean up a couple more VR bits that are laying around. And I'm going to finish boiling some water and then we'll go. Still don't know what this is that came off my tripod. Oh. Legs have been kind of sore from playing VR games. Probably from Beat Saber because I tend to get down low when I do that. Which I also do dancing, but I guess I do it in a different way and use different muscles when I've got a VR headset on. I don't know. Is that an embodied chair? Yes, it is. It is an embodied chair. Your survival game now has swimming and drowning. Well, don't drown. That would be terrible. That would be terrible. Is it worth the price? I like it way better than other chairs. I mean, it is just a chair, right? Like, it's not gonna change your life, but I mean, we have a bunch of Aeron chairs at the office, and I like these way better. This is also the chair that I have at the office. It's good. It's reasonable. It doesn't like hurt my butt when I'm sitting in it for a long time, which Aeron chairs do actually. As for is it worth the price? I mean, it depends. I don't even remember how much these cost. Is it like, are they like $2,500 or something? I don't know. For the amount that I sit in a computer chair, that seems worth it. It probably is overpriced compared to how much they take to manufacture, but you know, that's not exactly what it's all about. Do I use a sit-stand desk? Yeah, I have a motorized desk that goes up and down. I don't really move it very much, though. I probably should more than I do. You just finished two big papers. What were the papers about? $12.70 on the site. Oh, that's good. That doesn't sound too bad. Some SIMD and arrays at work. 10,000 non-instanced animations. Right on. Right on. Try that in JavaScript. Instructional technology. I am not sure what that means, but I assume it's things that tell you how to do things. $1,200 for just a chair? Well, yeah. Yeah, bro. I mean, think about how much a car costs. $1,200 for a chair is a bargain. Stream played a part in one of your papers as a tool for improved online learning. Well, that's good. Glad we could help in whatever way that happened. Any thoughts on how you read specs when you're trying to implement it? I don't know. You know, I hate specs. I'm not really the right person to ask about that. On rare occasions, I have gone in and tried to program to specification. The most recent one was when writing out object files from the compiler, you know, the Microsoft, I guess it's the portable executable format or something, whatever it is. I had to read that and deal with it, and that one wasn't too bad. But when spec documents get really big and really just, I don't know, they get annoying really fast. So I'm not really the right person to ask about that. Would I be able to add links to all my talks in the description? Well, if you look down there right now, there should be those links to YouTube playlists that someone sent on the stream the other day. I don't know if those have all my talks. I don't even know what all my talks are, but those are some playlists that somebody found or put together. A car has at least 4 chairs. My car doesn't have 4 chairs. My car only has 2 chairs. So be careful. Don't assume the number of chairs that my car has. How do you learn new thing? I don't know. If only we could answer that question. Through instructional technology. Part of the problem is definitely that you prefer to start writing code as soon as possible. Well, sometimes you can, right? So that's what I like to do too. So for something like the executable file format, it's like, hey, there's a header that just has, you know, the magic number and the size of things and whatever, and I can just write out those values. And then it's like, okay, what comes after this part? Well, it's section A. Now I go read the spec for section A, and then I go read the spec for section A.1, and I just do it a piece at a time. That's generally what I do. Do I think programmers should be learning C instead of JavaScript? I mean, the question doesn't make sense. Because, like, most programmers are just doing what the jobs are, and the jobs are making web pages. And the web pages are in JavaScript because that's what the web browsers run. The web browsers don't run C, okay? Should they run C? Probably not. Should they run something better than JavaScript? Yes. If they ran something better than JavaScript and the web weren't so messed up, though, there wouldn't be as many programmers because there wouldn't be as many jobs because people would get things done more efficiently. Or maybe there would be as many programmers because there'd be more companies doing more interesting things. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, it just becomes a very different situation. Do I ever get stuck going down the rabbit hole of the fine-grained details? I do not. The reason is because I learned to avoid that by watching people fail by doing that. It can be a really serious self-sabotage mechanism because you act like you're working, but instead you're digging a rat hole on details that will never matter. So that's a failure mode that you want to stay away from. Has milk been acquired? Well, I guess we will find out. Programming is in inelastic demand. Wouldn't it be nice if more programmers were learning C? Seems like high-level languages are overtaking the programming world. Maybe. Sorry, I'm looking for my phone because that made me think of something that I want to make sure and say in a speech that I'm doing next week. It's a private speech, but I'll do a public version of it later, hopefully. But first, I got to find my phone. Oh man, I already ate a whole bag of gummy bears. I'm gonna get more gummy bears. Those, the arrays that have stable pointers for the data, if I know what you're talking about, are not the built-in arrays. The built-in array is just a length and a pointer to, data, pack data. Yeah, I'm switching up on you. Instructional technology instructed me to get some gummy bears. What is my opinion on mobile OSs? Are they as broken as desktop OSs? Pretty much. I mean, they're newer, so they haven't accreted as many problems. But they're doing their best. Let's look at this clone thing. Where the clone motion isn't working. See what happens. Okay, we're in inact move. We sorted by dot product. And we're in move individual guy. Okay. So can we go? The guy's position is entity undoable data position 10 comma 12. Unfortunately, well, okay, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, that's indeed the orange guy on the left. That's who we're looking at. X coordinate 10. So we should get a yes that he can go. We're not even going to bother. Right? If we look at this variable can, it's going to be true. Now we're going to F5 till we get to the motion of the next clone. This guy's position is 12 comma 12, right? So this guy's at 10, the guy on the left, and the guy at 12 is 2 right from that guy. So that all makes sense. And now the problem is this is going to return false. And it's because he can't push the rock into the other guy, even though the other guy should move in the same transaction. Actually, let's verify that. I'm just going to hit F10, right? So, oh, can is true. Wait, what? I mispredicted. Oh, but he's got both. He's got the rock and the guy in his pushes, which is probably a problem. Right, it is. Because then we say, oh, it's heavy. Because it's two things. That's why he can't push it. Okay? So that's good that we actually did that. So the problem isn't that can go says he can't go. It's that the thing goes into the pushes. So now we have two possible approaches. We could either filter it out of the pushes and say, oh, it's a clone, right? Or we could say, actually, it's not in the pushes. And I think it has to not be in the pushes because otherwise things might fail in more complex situations. So this guy, for example, can push multiple things, the red guy. But now, if I take the whole stack as pushes, I think we'll push the two blocks on the left twice because both guys are pushing them, right? And then that's going to be a mess. Like, yeah, see, we've got multiple, like rock 16994 is being pushed twice. It's being pushed between the same coordinates twice, but like that's still bad. We don't want that. All right? So like, I guess for now, we can say that if we're going to add a push, I mean, this is a weird hack either way, and I'd like to think of a better way to do it. But oh, I just thought of a level idea. I just want to take like a 2-week Christmas break and just design levels. Like I have a file with like 200 levels of ideas in it. And I've got all these, from these past streams when we were doing all this hard compiler stuff, I've got all these pages of notes and pages, and I've got 2 notebooks in the backpack over there with more pages. Oh my God, it's so many things. If a player is part of a stack, then it shouldn't be able to push. Well, no. Okay. If they were 2 different characters, then the one who's pushing at the end would push the other one, and that would make sense. But these guys are clones of each other. So they both move at the same time, which is one of the complicated things that this game does. Show you the level file? Not right now. I don't want to get distracted. Do I read magazines often? I need to read more books. Magazines are not the top of my priority list in terms of how I need to revise my life. Would I say that C or C++ are objectively better than languages like Python or JavaScript? I mean, it depends on what you mean. Because C or C++ mostly require people to be serious programmers to program in them, and Python doesn't. So that's the use of Python, is that it's usable by people who are not serious programmers. But the problem is, like, that would be fine if we were all clear about that. But then you have people who think they're serious programmers going and using Python or JavaScript, and like that's the bad part. Okay. Playing a million levels has to feel like a chore at some point. Yeah, maybe. Hopefully not for players, but yeah. My comment in a previous stream about letting the subconscious work out problems was underrated. In your opinion, it's important to disengage actively from a problem to get important insights. Yes, it's one of my main tactics of how I solve problems. It is what works for me. It is what works for me. Okay. So in here is where things get added to pushes. These are like all the pushable things. We might want to factor this list out instead of having it be a giant or statement, but anyway. Okay. If it's a clone that's already in our transaction, return true, that's already in our transaction and moving out of that square, return true. Okay, so if transaction to ignore, T is that, for single T dot single moves, if single dot entity ID is equal to E dot entity ID, and then we have lots of different move types, but we really only care about clone. I guess. I mean, we still have, see, we have situations. Okay, after we do this, I just want to do this, but I think we have situations where you could end up pushing something twice that are more complicated than this. And we'll try to concoct one of those and figure out how to solve it. I'm making a note to do that right now. Okay. So if we hit something that's moving, if single dot, actually, let's just say anything. I was going to say controller proc, but like I said, let's just say if it's anything in our transaction. So well, all my files are unloaded. Okay, so we're looking at the single move, and that's got a move info, and we'll look at that, and we'll just say dot, let's just say delta. If the length of the delta is not 0, it's moving out of the square. We could probably do something more robust here. Then we just say we can go. Now what we aren't checking for, okay, that didn't work. Okay, it did kind of work. Oh no. Like, look, weird. It kind of worked because we didn't get multiple transactions, but it didn't work because the guy on the right can't even push. What's up with that? Oh, sorry. Why did I say false? It's true. I was thinking true. True means we can go. False means we can't go. So if we say false, obviously we can't go. All right. That's kind of reasonable. See, we can fix problems. I'm not sure this is the best fix for this problem, but we can fix problems. Okay, so the clone level, there was at least one clone level that was broken, which was mirror 14. So let's test that. All right, let's, it's debug build, so it's very jumpy, so all my files are unloaded because the frickin' index green or blue screened us. Sorry, didn't blue screen it. It hard locked us. Let's change the test rate to 5 so we can see. I want to figure out why our sim rate goes off a cliff. Yeah, there we go. So we fixed that, which is great. Did we fix anything else? I'm not sure. Did we break anything else? I'm not sure. It's possible. I kind of want to do a release build with a Benny test because that's the last known problem. And then maybe we just re-record a few more of these. And if it all seems good, then we'll maybe work on the no check-ins. And if that seems good, then we'll check in, which is scary. Scary. Is a clone able to use a teleporter? Clones are able to do whatever they want, man. Okay, you know what? Here's a thing. I'm going to run debug build again for a second. I said before we do this, let's concoct a situation that's still going to break. And I think we can do one, and I think there's an easy fix. So like if I make some double beams, all right. So this is going to say move this 4 squares. Let's get this out of here. It says move that 4 squares. Okay. And so that'll teleport this 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then if this guy is also going to push this by 1, both of these will be trying to go into the same square. Let's make them look different so that we could tell what's going on maybe. Like if these go, yeah, we'll see that if that's in the same square. So I think this will screw up. Let's see. Yeah. And that's because now we're ignoring things that we push that are in the same transaction. So really what we could do is say, like, I mean, you could say, well, maybe that's just how the game works, but that would be inconsistent with some other things. So let's say the square is clear unless it is blocked by someone moving into the square exclamation point. All right, so here, okay. And I guess we just want to say, if anything what is this called? Is it called, I guess moveInfo.target. Okay, so somebody can be vacating the square, but somebody can block the square. So if square is blocked, return false. If square is vacated, return true. That's what we're going to do. And so we make sure to do that on the entire transaction. Whoa, wait, what? My wrapped distance. I've got a pass proximity grid. I should probably change that because I always just want to pass the entity manager. All right, let's make sure that works and then we'll rebuild a release build. Is the clone able to clone himself? Of course. There we go. Okay, so the guy on the left goes first and then the guy on the right can't go because it's blocked. Perfect. That could be a level, dude. And now look, this still works. So good. I mean, I feel like there's some corner cases that are still going to break, but we'll figure them out when we get there. If I haven't taken Carmack-style retreats to work on stuff, sometimes, probably not as often as I should. Like usually I just maybe go somewhere to give a speech or something and then end up working on stuff in that kind of an environment. You know. All right, let's go check mirror 14 again. Let's make sure we didn't break that. Okay, that's good. And I gotta fix the texture loading, dude, or whatever is taking all that time. What? Anyway, we'll get our new list of what's failing. Game was probably too loud, huh? Because we turned up the volume for VR time, and then everyone always complains that it's too loud. So I'm going to turn that down a bit. Are these tests parallel? No. I mean, I seriously could start thinking about that, but I'd rather just make them run faster. Because, Like the whole point is we want to test the rendering, we want to test everything. And we want to display what's happening because if I see something wrong, like sometimes I'll see something wrong and then I know there's something wrong. So, yeah, I don't know. So many spoilers. Should play the music I was playing the other night. Oh, we could do that. Let's do that. Oh, let's save that for the chai latte celebration. But I think we're getting closer to chai latte celebration time. So let's at least start getting the paraphernalia on deck. I want to make a BFG division chai latte. All right, so we've got the thinger. The thinger is out. You're gonna buy the frother after seeing all the hype on the streams. It's a good frother. I am now moderately experienced in frothers. This is my third frother, and it's my favorite for this type of beverage. If you just want something to make things to put in your coffee drink, then maybe it's not necessary. But I want to try these levels because those are my levels. Endpoint suspend. Let's try and remember to do the endpoint suspend levels. Because endpoint beams and falling, if there is something wrong, that could be a place. Oh, and let's do that other one. That's one of Maya's levels. We'll do that one too. Test failed. Oh yeah, there's going to be. Oh, by the way, get your bets in for number of fails. Last time was. What was it? Was it 114 or was it 104 last time? I don't remember. Watching The Graduate. Yeah, I never saw the full movie, so I was kind of watching it, and then just that kind of like mortification humor show. I just can't take that much of it at once, so I had to take a break. It was 104 last time? Okay. We're guessing fails right now. Who knows? We might have broken something. Oh, look at that fog, dude. The fog looks so much better. I want to figure out what's taking all that time between levels. Not right now, but sometime we'll take a look.
Telling the truth is a bad idea. Telling the truth is a... Telling the truth is a scary... Telling the truth is a scary predicament. Truth is a bitter herb.
Whatever it is.
Dangerous. When you get out of that tunnel, it's got life ahead. Forget. Never heard of a hit that had the word urban. Telling the truth is a dangerous.
It just messes up our music, man.
Danger. Telling the truth can be danger. Telling the truth can be dangerous. Business. Telling the truth can be business. Why? 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 Telling the truth can be dangerous. Because if yourself know why. Huh? Well, I'm just giving you what the idea is. Telling the truth can be dangerous business. If you don't know you, then you don't know why. Oh! Brilliant! Telling the truth can be dangerous business. Honest and popular don't go hand in hand. If you admit that you can play the accordion, one will hire you in a rock and roll band. The band. It's
So someone's asking, is this debug build or release? This is release build, and it's mostly running fast. It's just that when we load a level, it's doing something that takes a really long time. So we're just going to have to look that up and fix it. That's the kind of stuff that just happens during game development. I wish people would get a grip on it and make it happen less, but like just, yeah. That's what happens. And then you gotta always just figure out what's going on and say, okay, let's deal with it. Like you notice, it's always like this big lag right before we swap levels, like a multi-second freaking lag. So I don't know what that is, but it's not good. This guy, I don't know why he gets stuck in the wall there. That shouldn't be able to happen. So I wonder if he's really in the wall or if he's just somehow cosmetically in the wall. I don't really know. How much thought do you put into team dynamics interaction when developing a game? You have to put a lot of thought into that or you'll never get the game done, unfortunately. Did he get pushed in by the rover? Well, that should not be possible. That might be what happened, but it should not be possible. So I'm not sure. So yeah, it could just be a bug. I don't know. It could be that he's really in that square and that's the bug, or it could be that he's not really in that square. It just looks like he's in that square, and then that's the bug. Either way, there's a problem. We have a lot of levels. Should program a little procedure to strip assets when you're doing a Benny set test to prevent spoilers. Strip assets? In what way? You mean just to hide how the game's going to look? Then we're not testing the game. I mean, I could just stop showing these tests publicly. Look at all these. Oh, batch complete. All right. I hope you have a clear answer for how many fails, because we're going to see now. 100. 100 on the button. All right. So we were at 104 last time. We're at 100 now. That's not too bad. So let's try, I want to play some of these. Like, let me try Infinite Looping Skipper. That one. This was one, this could be a problem. Let's record it. Whoops. I missed. All right. There we go. It's a little bit cosmetically off, so we're going to have to fix that, but all right. When do I do it? Nope. That was too soon, I guess. No, it was too late. Hold on. We'll do it there. All right. So that'll all work better. We can sell that better with, like, you know, splashes when the rock hits it. That right angle change of the way the lily pad goes looks weird otherwise. Okay, so this level is solvable and frankly much more playable than in the old movement system. All right. And the undos all worked. We're in good shape, people. See if I can remember how to do this one. Okay, let's just record. so that we have a recording. So I think... Right. Now I forget why I want to infinite loop this. I just know that I do because that's the name of the level. Oh, I'm doing that, okay, to block the endpoint beam. Because otherwise, I can't go this way. All right, that's cute. Spoilers. Didn't I want to do that level with the vertical beams? Yes, I did. I just got a little sidetracked. Oh, this one's complicated. Let's not do this one right now. This one, well, let's do it, because you know what? Again, it's going to tax the system quite a lot. Okay, so I've got to remember what my deal is. Okay, so I'm going to do this. We get those going, and then move that out to there. This is such a fun level. Oh, I forgot I added this part to the end. Whoops, I missed. So we got to bring this rock back in. And then maybe bring it back in. Maybe that's not in enough. I need it in more. Whoops. Let's not do that. Okay, how do I get it? See, I need to get it on these frickin' lily pads or something. Okay, let's do this. So it's going to be scraping there. There we go. Boom. So from there, I can push it inward. And we're going to do this. I don't know. Wait, what? What was going on there? That's a bug. That's really weird. All right, well, I think this was my solution that was intended. That may not even replay because of that weird... Wait, did I not record it? Let's try this again. Let's try this again. All right. Okay, so we go out to here. Whoops, I missed. Come on, bro. Go. Okay, and then we go out to there. Right. And then, wait, is that too... No, that's good. So we get it going there. And then we go there. Oh, I missed. I think it's too hard to mirror things right now. Whoops. I need to look at that. So what was going on with this? Why did that move fail? All right, I must have not recorded it or something. Okay, that level was called what? I guess I forgot what the command was. Infinite looping skipper mirrored. I wonder if that happens because the lily pads are still in the river and it's like causing them to try and move. Okay. So this is all good news though. These levels are mostly much more playable. The only thing is it's hard to mirror moving objects. Okay. So let's do some of those vertical beams. Whoops, the wrong file. Endpoint suspend directions. This level, oh my God, it's got so many pieces. Let's get our alternate direction view. Okay, hold on. Let's record. So, if I recall, we really want like I think we want this. And then this has to go down. And then this has to go in. This is making sense to me. I mean, I'm not sure it's the only solution, but yeah. And then she can go da-dink, da-dink, da-dink. Whoa! Okay, see, that was a visual weirdness. See, she was in the end square, but it looked like she wasn't. That's not going to prevent us from checking it in, but we will notice that. Or wait, was it? Now I'm confused. Anyway. So now the question is, how do I get across the last square? And the answer is, I don't know, man. This is the part I don't remember very well. So definitely, no matter what, I kind of have to push something to the wall. And it might as well be this. That means this can go out this way. What? Okay. So that's the bug is like she shouldn't have been supported anymore. Did you see that? Like she's there on this column, and then I moved left and she went. This time she didn't though. But okay, so I think we could reproduce that in the test level. All right, let's see. Let's get rid of this one. Whoops. Okay. So we're gonna have an upward mirror. We're gonna have a double beam. No, not a double beam, an endpoint beam, like that. We're going to have some columns. We're going to have this one and this one. And then, I don't think it needs to be the same character, so we're going to have this dude. And, let's get rid of the monster gate. And we'll get this dude back here. Okay. So, why can't I switch characters? Oh, because this guy's clone ID is set to someone who does not exist. Ha! Okay, good. So he's going to go there. So now he's like in the suspended animation. Now, what's funny is he shouldn't, like, if I push these, he shouldn't go with them. And he doesn't. Okay. Whoa, that's weird. So we're getting this visual glitch. Okay. So we're getting the visual glitch, and that might be a clue to what's wrong. It seems to be tied to the same thing. So when I walk off, he like glitch teleports back to the middle. Why? So controller proc. So like when this one completes, I bet it's just because his supported by ID is set. Let's actually... I could draw if somebody is supported here by what ID they are supported. Okay, so here's the thing. We don't need two characters to reproduce this problem. We get rid of this, this, and that. So, right? So I go there, and I blink back. Great. I'm pretty sure that blink back is a support. So the question is, why does my support ID ever get set? And to answer that question, let's just make a debug build and run it. Found a body chair in Russia. It is $2,000. I mean, they probably have to ship it a long way. So I'm not that surprised. I'm not that surprised. Feels like OpenGL is going to just not work at some point. I agree with that. I mean, I think what'll happen is, like, whatever AutoCAD doesn't use will stop working, right? There'll be some mysterious part of OpenGL that still works, but you won't be able to know exactly what that is as a new programmer trying to use it. Okay, so I'm going to go to move transaction, and we're going to go to add move transaction, and we're just going to use this as a place to get the entity pointer, right? Okay, so we really shouldn't be supported by anything yet. Oh, this is really the wrong place. Fudge. Let's go to add move. So we should hit that. Yeah. Okay. So here we're moving the individual guy. We have the pointer to the guy. The pointer to the guy says hold on, I just remembered something. I have to send an email. Okay, the pointer to the guy. The guy has, where is support ID? Is it here? Is it on entity? Is it in undoable data? It's probably in undoable data, right? Supported by ID. Okay, so now we haven't verified, dude. Expression must have pointer type. Okay, so we haven't verified that this changes, but let's just see. OX183FC1B6994. Bam, go. Okay, we're in add move. Wait, why are we in add move again? Probably because we're buffering keystrokes. Okay, this is not really working out how I thought. Oh, but maybe it is. Update supports. Okay. Oh. We're not doing supported via teleport. So there's different kinds of support. There's, am I supported because I'm standing on this thing, right? Or am I supported because I would teleport, but teleport is blocked? So that's this via teleport. We're ignoring that here. So we're setting supported by ID. So all these frickin' purple beam levels would break because of that. So like, we actually don't want to set that if it's by teleport. I'm actually surprised that that worked as well as it did. I would have expected, for example, if we push that stuff out from under the guy that he would have moved. Okay, so I'm moving off. Hey, it worked! Moving off, moving off. Okay, so we're going to go back to, and I don't think we saved our replay, so let's play back the old replay. It's debug build, so it's kind of choking, but okay. Fail early victory. Okay. So it had extra moves that we didn't need for some reason. That's a good fail, though, I guess. Let's see if this one works. Yeah. So a number of these are going to work that didn't work before. Okay. So you know what? I think this is good enough to check in. And there may be more problems. We'll run another Benny test in a little bit. But like, I think we're good. Like we're the level of gameplay problems that we are seeing are, you know, would prevent us from shipping the game, but they won't prevent the team from working on the game. Do you think I did save the recording? The extra moves were from the bug I just fixed. No, because to save the recording, you have to win. Oh, maybe I did. Maybe I did an undo back up to the column. Oh, you're right. Yes. Yes, that is correct. So actually, if I go revert that test, maybe the old one will just work. Okay. So let's look at no check-ins, because I'm sure I've got some still. And I think at least one of them is something that we should seriously think about. Whoops, come on. Come on, come on. All right. This one we should never call update support, but the rest of them are probably temporary things. So let's look at them. This 0.05, I think, is just, I wanted to make a variable for that. No check-in. Yeah. So this is dot pre-falling duration. So this is just kind of what lets rocks fall sooner when you push them, or anything really fall sooner. Pre-fall duration 0.05. Is this in player control? No. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. Still compiles, great. This no check-in, we're actually not going to do that. We're going to check in. This one is saying, hey, we don't load save files yet, but that's fine. I mean, again, it's not fine long term, but it's fine for just a day or two. Because we're going to wipe everyone's save files anyway. All right. And we have all the undo data in, we might even do it tomorrow morning when I wake up, because we have all the undo data in the frickin' thing. We just have to serialize it. It's probably not hard, hopefully. Okay, so what do we got? So we've got the falling, we've got lilies and rivers, we've got 2. Let's see what that's about. This is code that I deleted. We don't, yeah, that's a bad hack that we didn't want, and that's a thing that we don't want, I think. All right. What is this one about? When we update the format, get rid of this. Oh. Okay. Let me... Wait, was it campaign that we just edited? Yeah. Wait, where does it give us? Yeah, campaign line 315. See also this. Okay. So, rovers. Okay. That's all old, I think. Like we wrote this, but then we didn't need it because this prevented it, I believe. All right. Undo. Yeah. That's obvious, so I'm not going to make that a no check-in. Sokoban should be in the same place as undo mark beginning. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to this. So what I'm saying here is that up here I call undo mark beginning, which is, this is just telling the undo system, hey, we're starting a new level. So do whatever you need to do when we start a new level, right? But then we do this. You know, I think it's maybe fine. Okay, so the point is, okay, so first of all, let me move this down to here. Undo related stuff. Okay, so we're gonna put all this together as organization. Okay, so what this is saying is, look, undo system, it's the beginning of a thing. Now, if we're actually playing the game, we get the level name, we load the undo data. I don't know why this is marked as temporary. Maybe the getting the level name is temporary, probably. Like, don't we should just use the entity manager's universe name or something. Anyway, it works for now. We don't want to randomize by changing that. So, so if we visited this level, so we have this campaign state that just says, here are all the levels we've been to before. Well, if we go back to one of those, we probably want to look for undo data. So if we go back to one of those, we load the undo data, right? We put a message to the player. This says, look up this string in the internationalized string database. And then we do this. Now, this all should probably happen after undo mark beginning, because that's the way the undo system works. But then this is a weird, thing. I don't know. I think this is fine since it's all grouped together. Yeah. It's just like, look, if we didn't get any undo data, we need to just have a first frame to kick us off. This is fine. Now, just shuffling this around a little bit made it much more understandable. Okay. So, what's this other one? Make sure all movement cases do this. Oh. I kind of don't want to right now. I'm going to say audit support. And the reason is because there are some movement cases that kind of work right now, but that I want to completely rewrite anyway. So like the Bard charming characters. Part of the whole reason we did this whole movement system rewrite is so we would have a stronger system in which we could do some more sophisticated thing, like what happens with Bard motion in certain cases, which is probably what I'll work on at work tomorrow. So I'm going to put this in the to-do for down here. That doesn't need to be a no check-in. All right, so the one that's maybe serious is this. Because this update support, if you were watching whatever stream it was the other day, you know that update support is only supposed to be called inside a thing that does other things. And so we shouldn't be allowed to do this. So what we should do is instead say is supported, which is a predicate, right? Like, can I go there, right? So I should be able to say, rather than changing the actual support variables on the entity, I should be able to say, I don't know why I couldn't just say this. If is supported E. Like, this doesn't look very different. Not stop falling E. This doesn't look very different, but it is. And wait, stop falling probably just sets the falling flag to false. How bad is it that we don't? Let's see what happens if we try this. This, like, might be bad as well. All right, let's try some basic stuff. So, like, here, I do stop falling. That's good. I do stop falling. Okay, but now let's put another character in the scene, like this guy. So now, oh, it works. His support is set correctly. I was expecting that he might just have the thing pushed out from under him and he would fall, but that's not what happened. So, well, let's take a look at what stop falling does, but I feel like we're okay. Okay. So we sent an animation message, maybe play a sound, and just set a flag. Okay. We don't use this anymore. Don't use that anymore. We got rid of so many stupid hacks that made the old system work. Okay. So you know what we're going to do? Now here's the thing. The Benny test takes some time to run. And during that time, we're going to make a chai latte celebration drink. Okay? Because we're finally going to check in. This is our check-in part. No, you know what? I was going to say I'm going to make the chai, and then if for some reason I just really broke something, then I'll be sad and not be able to drink the chai because I can't really celebrate undeservedly. But let's just run the Benny test separately. I actually want to start a timer too. I want to know how long the Benny test takes now, because that'll tell me how much we need to optimize. And if this succeeds, if we get less than 100 fails, then it's chai time. All right. Anyone? We know this is going to take like 10 minutes plus. I don't even know, but some amount of time. Anyone have questions about what's been going on? What all I've been doing? What programming languages do I think will be around in 50 years? Well, programming languages from the 50s are all still around today. You just don't see them very often, but they still run stuff. Like COBOL still runs stuff. So I don't know why you think that would be any different. Can you show your main game loop? What is a Benny test? This is a Benny test. It's like a unit test, but it's when the unit tester makes the rest of the team very angry and they chase him around a field while he tries to run away. Main game loop. I mean, this doesn't tell you much because while one, if you should quit the game, this is not even active. This is a temporary allocator report. Or not even temporary, but yeah. Whatever. This is not worth. It's not active. And then we do one frame, right? So do one frame does more things, right? So what do we do? What do we do every frame? Hold on. My Emacs can't smooth scroll, apparently. What do we do every frame? Well, maybe we start playing a recording. We get the time. We reset our temporary storage. We decide if we should render, which we don't if we're playing a test really fast. If the window is not minimized, we do window events. We read input. If we're in game mode, because remember we have an editor. If we're in the editor, we just call some editor function, right? If we're in game mode, then we figure out how much of a time step we want to simulate, and then we break that up into sub steps if it's too long, right? Because we have a max simulation time step. So we say step dt is the smallest of however much time is left in that, right? So if we pick this, then we'll still have something left over in remaining dt after we subtract here. So then we call the simulate function, which does, you know, animating things forward and whatever. If we're playing a test, we should check if we want to advance the level and stuff. Transitions are like the victory transition where the thing fades to white or where the camera kind of comes in and out. That's updates that, right? Okay. Make sure we do audio stuff. Call the editor once every frame, which won't do anything if we're in the shipping game, right? Update the editor. Again, now if we're in the game, this is where we would render, because this is all just simulation, right? And this isn't even simulation, it's calling the simulator. Here, if we're going to render, you know, should we show the mouse pointer, right? Blah, 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 stupid mouse stuff. We have a decal system, which is a way of splatting images on surfaces in the rendered scene. Occlusion queries, I don't know why we're doing that in this game. It sure seems like a waste of time to me, but maybe that's actually doing something, I don't know. Why? Occlusion queries. We might be actually using that just as a performance counter routine or something. Okay. We update the position of the camera, which you want to do before you actually render things. This is just a gameplay object. It probably shouldn't be there. It's a temporary gameplay object. This actually draws the 3D scene. This then does the tone mapping down to visible colors, because when you render in 3D these days, you use you know, high dynamic range floating point values to represent the amount of light. We draw HUD text. Draw transition is like if we're drawing that fade in or whatever over the screen. Draw the debug view. Do some GPU profiling stuff. Oh, we could be in the menu, and then we draw the menu. And then this is end of frame stuff, so draw the console if we want to. Editor. Flip the buffers if we're rendering. And then after the buffers are flipped, after the buffers are flipped, if we are taking a screenshot, take it now, because that's when the right data is in the buffer. This is not a regular screenshot. This is for Nexus shots. This is regular screenshot. This is for Nexus shots, which is when I'm running a developer command that goes to every level and screenshots every single level. because that's how we generate some bitmaps that we'll probably use from within the game later to show what the things are. Okay, then if there are window events, you know, like the window moved or got closed or whatever, gamepad input. If we're in developer mode and somebody changed files, this is where we notice that files were changed and respond to those changes here and here. And then, well, if shaders were changed in a certain way by those hot loads that just happened, then we deal with that. And then if we're in a timed test, we decide whether to sleep or not. This actually might be going haywire and might be why time tests are slow sometimes. And then that's it. That's what we do every frame. So all you have to do to make a video game is type that. And then you win.
Is a bitter herb. Telling the truth is a dangerous tongue. When you get out of that tunnel, it's got to.
Expected something in this loop that would go over your head, but you guess it actually all makes sense. Yeah, it all makes sense. I mean, some of those sub-functions do very complicated things, but overall it all makes sense. Is there a system behind having some functions called update X and other functions named X update? No. No. It's just whatever people happen to call it. How many people work at the company now? Like 14, something like that. We're small. We're not Google size. Gamepad input is at the end of the frame, or is update gamepad doing something else? Well, that's a good question. This really had better be doing something else, otherwise gamepad... Like sometimes stuff like this just happens. Like sometimes people move stuff accidentally to places where it really shouldn't be. I don't know why update gamepad would not be in read input, first of all. Like, what's it doing here? This might be a remnant from this being a very early port or something. Let's see. I guess that's not in there. Okay, so the answer is this was put in by somebody else who was not me, who didn't do the right thing. I don't know why there are two different files. Oh, this is a comment. Yeah, no, this is bad. Thank you for noticing. So this is just generating events and stuff. Now, why are the window events here as well? Like, see, this might be somebody felt like they needed to move the window events here and that caused look, all this should be in read input, first of all. Okay, you know what? We're not going to change any of this because we're about to check in, but I'm going to put on the piece of paper, move, update, gamepad, window events. Yeah. So this is very important for the game feeling snappy because so what I assume actually happened is update window events probably only does stuff like, oh, the window closed or the window moved, right? Probably when the person who inserted this function, he was probably just looking for where to put it and said like, oh, window events, that's like input. So let me put this next to the input. This isn't input, right? Input is read input. So this kind of mistake happens. But what this means is the game would be responding to gamepad input a frame late. And that's not good for how games feel. And that kind of stuff sneaks into your games if you don't watch for it. So we will hopefully fix it. Thank you for noticing that. It's super wrong. Did we successfully get new hires from our posting? We have been interviewing people, and that's a long process sometimes. Another person is getting barked at. No. I mean, yes, but no. What happened with the Benny test? It's done. How many fails? 99. I got 99 problems, but 99 fails ain't one. All right. All right. Oh, we forgot to update. That might take a sec. Oh, timer. Thank you. Of course, I don't know when it actually finished. Okay, so the timer is currently at 13 minutes. So, you know, it takes, I don't know, between 10 and 13 minutes to run the Benny test, which is too long. So maybe we'll do a thing where we profile that at one point and just see what's taking all the time. I want to figure out what's taking all the time during timed levels, and it might be that we're accidentally sleeping. That could seriously be a thing that's happening. We'll see. Upper bound is 13 minutes. Well, you know, then we might add more levels, so who knows, man. Uh-oh, we were conflicted in the to-do.txt. I always frickin' do that. Let's just get rid of the list of fails for now. Get rid of this. I fixed those. Okay. Great. Let's make sure it still builds. And new movement system installed. 99 levels currently fail automated tests, probably due to the tests being wrong, but there may be gameplay bugs. What else? We are currently not loading undo data in the save games. Undo data from save games, but this will probably change soon. Anyway, we changed the format, so old undo data won't be loaded anyway. Yeah. We've been working on this for a long ass time. I'm going to push the button. Let's make sure that we didn't forget a no check-in. I don't see one. I hope there isn't one in the data. I'm going to push the button. It's going to take some time. Look at all those frickin' light probes. You feel bad for everybody that has to deal with this merge? What do you mean? This isn't Git. This isn't a pull request. This is me checking in the code. This is in the game now. This is not some Git bullshit. Nobody has to deal with the merge. That's not a thing. How long until next compiler demo? I don't know. All the errors? All what errors? What do you mean? There's no errors. What do you mean? 176 megabyte. Ah. Whew. Now let's hope we don't get an error message from the automated system. Okay, people. Now, I'm also gonna, while the chai is going, I'm gonna get the game on my laptop and make sure it runs there. But this is a celebration. I've been working on this system like since October or something. I don't even remember. It's been a while. Would I hire a terrible programmer like you? Well, I mean, you got to work on your interviewing skills. All right. All right. Let's see what the thing looks like. I am so happy to check this in. I mean, I may become unhappy in a second if it turns out something really bad happened, but hopefully not. And you know what? Sometimes bad things happen, and then we fix them. Get rid of my gummy bear packages. Okay, people, this is going to be the best tasting chai latte in a long time. Let's make the cam bigger. I would not be a very good professional cam person, would I? If I don't make the cam big. What is even that about? All right. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we can't quite push play yet because we need an extra thing. We need an extra thing. You know what that is. I have to go get it on my laptop so I could read chat now because of the monitor. Okay, let me get on chat. My laptop is booting up. All right, now I can read what people are saying again. So. All the power plugs are taken up by VR equipment. There should be Chai Tuesday. It is Chai Tuesday. Aw, the chai ended early, man. Not exactly synchronized. So good though. Winnie the Pooh likes the Doom soundtrack. Oh, by the way, so that's working. We're going to make a release build on the laptop and run a Benny test. Okay, we now know how long does it take to make a chai? Less time than BFG division. So that could be useful data for you someday. Now it may be too spicy because, you know, some things just happened there. It's a little spicy, but it's quite good. It's quite good. Oh, yes. Okay, I should change the stream title. We have checked in the new movement code !! Milestone in my life, I tell you. All right, I've got release build on the laptop, and I'm just going to run a Benny test on there. Just, whoops, YouTube's keeping going. I didn't want that. Hang on. So, yeah. That was a thing. That was a successful stream. I should get an affiliate commission from the chai people. Dude, chai lattes are really good. Like when they're not, okay, sometimes if you go to a coffee shop, they will make you a very weak chai. And you can't BFG division to weak chai. You know what I'm saying? It has to be like strong, manly Doom Guy chai. With frothed milk. Okay, Doom Guy does not drink cold milk. I don't know where you get cold milk in hell, but he doesn't drink cold milk. It's got to be hot frothed milk. I'm sure. I mean, I've never asked him this particular question, but I'm sure that that's the answer. What level of developer do you look for when you interview? Do they have to be at or near your level? Can they be much lower level? Well, we hire beginners and we hire experienced people, but here's the thing. There's a lot more beginners than experienced people, and we need experienced people to really get the games done. So we don't hire beginners very often. So if you want to get hired at a game company, it's in your best bet to just be as good as possible. Right? What defines serious programmer? I don't know. What kind of test does the automated system do that I can't do locally? If you mean the one that's on the server, it just basically checks. It'll do several builds. It'll do a debug build. It'll do a release build. It'll do a few things. Just to make sure, like sometimes you might have local changes on your machine that are helping you compile in some way, and then you check it in and it's like, oh man, this doesn't work. I'm sending you an email. If that's what you mean. But really the Benny test that we're running here in the background again is a much more thorough test of the actual game than like the server does. And be as good as possible applies to everything or anything. That is correct. That is correct. Unless you're in a regime that punishes competence, which we might be turning the United States into, and that would be bad for us. But otherwise, yes. Do we hire mostly C++ programmers? Yeah, mostly. Like we wouldn't hire like a Python programmer. There's just nothing that person could do. You know, the spoon is too big to be using this way. Like there's very little that a JavaScript programmer could do at our company even. Like that person could work on the website, which frankly we could use a little bit of, but someone's working on that right now. But then once that's done, it's like, well, what do? You learn a different programming language. Should you learn C++ if you already know C and Python? Probably not, honestly. Unless you specifically want a job working in C++, which I would not recommend. You could, if you know C and Python, you could try something like Go or Rust. You remember getting recruiters emailing you about jobs that required multiple years of Swift experience when Swift 1.0 was released publicly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the people who made Swift had multiple years of Swift experience at that point, so don't count them out. Oh man, this is good. So you guys didn't see any of this because I didn't do it on stream, but I also did a relatively agonizing compiler change over the past few weeks. So I've been doing agonizing gameplay system rewrite and agonizing compiler rewrite at the same time. It's so good to be out of that. But you know what? Both systems are better. It was worth it. What do I think of Learn Language the Hard Way series? I haven't really read it. Did I just wreck Rust? Well, if someone asks me, should I learn Rust or should I learn C++? I'm going to say Rust. Okay? Because the choice is obvious there. Like if they already know C, then, you know. Like I'm only pushing languages that people could use right now. I have not given the programming language that I've been working on out to anybody. So I can't very well recommend it, can I? How was the VR stream? I mean, it was fun getting out the VR thing and playing games. It's just, man, most of the games are just frustrating and bad. I tweeted about that later. Like, most of the games are not well designed in terms of the problem of smoothly interacting with the controllers and being playable, right? The kind of thing that 2D games are very good at. And just, I don't know, designers just, they don't have the right priorities. Like priority one, make your game playable. They just don't seem to get it. And it's very frustrating and annoying. Like some of those games were so embarrassing, and those were among the top games. Okay, we didn't play like random ass bottom of the barrel games. We played a bunch of the most successful and well known VR games, and many of them are unplayable. Some of them aren't, but many of them were unplayable. What is the final boss going to be? We have some ideas. No spoilers. Did we check the movement system in? Yes, we did. Did I not check the update information? It should be the stream title that we did that. Priority one, make your game have pretty assets. Priority two, make your game have smooth animations. It just seems more like the priority was to do dumb VR stuff. So like climbing on walls by opening and closing your hands. Like, no, that's not a thing. Don't do that. Is movement still a pain in the ass? Yes. So the best games are the ones where you just move by walking around in the space. Those are by far the best games. Why make a game good when you can do half the work? Oh, it's much less than half the work. Like making a game good is like 5 times the work of making a game not good. How are things going with the compiler? They're good. I mean, they've been kind of not that fun because, again, I've been doing some gross refactors that were difficult. But like I said, they're resulting in a better system, and so that's good. Even working on an audio project that uses a lot of C++ like inheritance and virtual functions, you wonder how much I would frown upon it. I probably would frown pretty heavily upon it. I don't know why you need inheritance and virtual functions to do audio necessarily. I mean, maybe a little bit, but if you're saying a lot of that stuff, I'm like, doesn't sound that good. Your issue with Rust is that it has mean aliasing rules. Yeah, I haven't looked at them that much. Why make a game good when you can do 20% of the work? That's right. What if you only do 4/5 of the work? Is it still bad? Well, it's probably not good, but it's probably not as bad as most of the games that we played. If you want a set of things with 2 ways to index into it, then you have to use like reference counting. Oh, that sounds terrible. That sounds really bad for performance, honestly. You spend all your time in VR telling people that you aren't at frame rate and that you have to cut their thing. Well, that's fine. You got a general signal class with a virtual DSP function as a base. That doesn't sound right. Why? What? Why? How are the signals represented? What if you do 99% of the work? Is it still 100% bad? I mean, I think at that point, see, sometimes you get lucky anyway. Sometimes you get lucky and hardly do any of the work and you still get a game that's pretty good in terms of people being able to get something out of it. So there's something like a waveform collapse happening where if you do 0% of the work, it's guaranteed to be bad. If you do 99% of the work, you have a reasonable chance of collapsing on good, probably. You know what I'm saying? When you wrote the code that you refactored, did you know you were going to do that in the future? Or did you later decide it wasn't good and did it better? I mean, I probably knew. I mean, I always go in expecting to rewrite some things. I just don't necessarily know what they're going to be. In this particular case, I probably knew for a long time that I wanted to eventually rewrite it, but I didn't quite know exactly what the right structure was, you know? All right, well, Benny test finished on the laptop with 99 fails, so we are good. We are successful game developers. Why, dude, my laptop, my function keys like aren't function keys. Like it auto installed a BIOS update or something. And now I have to press the fun button to use function keys that used to just work. Yeah, so now we're just going to ship it on Steam and say it's early access, only 99 fails. Face tattoos, good or no good? I'm pretty firmly in the no good camp on those. But I am not the arbiter of good versus no good. You do have to ask Jeff for an official opinion about good or no good. If the laptop is Lenovo, FunESC activates F keys again. Oh, okay. Maybe I accidentally hit that and it toggled it. If I sign your face and you get it tattooed, good or still no good, that's very no good. Very no good. Well, I think that we have had a successful stream and that's just great. So I think, depending what time I wake up in the morning, there is a major, let's just go over what's going on here. We still don't actually save the new undo data containing the transactions out to disk. I can undo those moves just fine in a level, but if we leave the level and come back, that doesn't work. So maybe we'll do that in the morning. Oh, we fixed this one. So that's probably the biggest thing. There's some other stuff to look into, like what was going on with that lily pad when I couldn't push stuff across the lily pad. So that'll be a thing to reproduce and figure out. Why is it a little too hard to mirror things that are moving? But these are relatively minor issues. We'll look at the update gamepad thing. Maybe we'll break out a gamepad and make sure it works. I don't think I've used a gamepad for this game like ever. So, yeah, we'll see. See if I can sleep now with 4 shots of chai in my frothy milk. Yeah, maybe. This emote share thing on Twitch now is weird. Do we support all gamepads or just X input? I don't remember actually what we do. We might be X input plus Sony's SDK or something. I don't know. We'll look. Are we going to see compiler streams soon? Maybe. because I was kind of rat holing on this one thing on my laptop, and that was my compiler work for a while. So now that that's done, maybe we'll open it up to general work. Seems like everyone just does X input these days. Yeah. Oh yeah, got the gamer emote. What are the main things left to do on the compiler? Well, I want to get macros working in Datascope. I want to work out some bugs involving macro expansions. And I want to raise the... So that demo that I did a while back was the macros part 1 demo. We still haven't implemented the features for macros part 2. So that still has to happen. And so there are more macro features to be done. All right. Thanks for coming by. Let's see who we could host. In science and technology. Who is doing science and technology? I mean, we have 1/3 of the viewers on the whole channel. So, Insignia prep for closed public demo. We just did him a few days ago, but maybe, swords and magic and stuff. We got more people working on games. Anyone see anything especially appealing? Dijkstra's algorithm. I guess that's a programming education stream. All right, we're down at the bottom of the barrel here. All right, we did Adam C. Eunice very recently. What's going on here? Didn't we host this guy?
Let's say a spell book in your left hand. If you have 2 active mace skills you've unlocked, you can only equip 1 in your right hand for the use.
All right, let's do
You
this.
can still move things, like I could put a stick or a spell book in my main hand, but that skill wouldn't work then.
He's got hello down the side of the screen, so that can't be
There's
bad.
a bunch of items in the game. There's
All right,
all kinds of
thank you for coming by.